The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Look alive, everybody. We've got Commander Charles Kerchner on the line. And Commander Kerchner, I want to apologize for your calling in early, and we had to put you on hold there for quite some time. But we are delighted and honored to have you on the broadcast today. How are you doing, sir?
Glad to be here, Reverend, and good to talk to you again. I met you, proud that I did, down at the Terry Lakin Court Martial, and it was a shame how they dragged you out of there and tried to, put you under arrest or detainment or whatever they wanted to call it. But that was absolutely disgraceful what they did to you. But I'm glad to be here and give you an update on what's happening in Pennsylvania.
Please do, sir. And let me, as I said, say a word about you, Commander Kerchner. You've been on this battlefield fight now for the past 4 years. You've not blinked. You've not tired. You've not been discouraged. You've had several cases appear in court, and you've not gotten justice, but you're continuing to fight. So my hat goes off to you in the most American patriotic way possible. But tell us what you're doing now in Philadelphia. You're trying to stop the long-legged Mac Daddy from being on the ballot there in Pennsylvania. Is that right?
That's correct. And I want to thank you for those kind words. And to the people who may not know it, I'm a retired commissioned naval officer, 33 years service, active and reserves. And I took a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, although I never thought I'd have to fight a domestic enemy. And I took that oath, so help me God. And I believe in God, and I could not look in the mirror if I didn't stand up when called here to fight a domestic enemy, and that is the, as you call him, the long-legged Mac Daddy, Obama. He's a usurper. He's a resident in the White House. He's not the legal or constitutional elected, he's elected, but not constitutionally eligible to be in the Oval Office, despite what the popular vote says. The Constitution says he's not eligible. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. Now, as to Pennsylvania, we filed in Harrisburg, that's our state capital, on Friday, a ballot challenge. Well, in Pennsylvania, they call it objection, but for the lay people, it's a ballot challenge. The Pennsylvania State Election Office says that the presidential candidate must be a natural-born citizen. That was put in the election packet sent out to all the candidates. Romney, Ron Paul, everybody got that, including the resident of the White House, who wants to get another shot at being illegally in the White House. And he knows you have to be a natural-born citizen in Pennsylvania. It's also on their website. And he had to present an affidavit to the state of Pennsylvania saying he's qualified for the office that he seeks. And he did. He had his lawyer do it. He's too busy. He comes here to raise money, but he's too busy to come by and fill it out himself. But he had his lawyers do it. But anyway,
Right.
He got a copy of that.
Right.
And we are challenging his eligibility. And I have an attorney, Attorney Karen L. Kiefer, very knowledgeable on Pennsylvania state law. She was elected Woman of the Year in the Pittsburgh area a few years ago. She's very talented, very sharp, true patriot. She's going to be leading this fight. And there's a hearing set now that we just got notice of this about an hour or two ago from the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania, March 1st, 10 a.m. It's going to be the hearing date, and we're going to present our case. We filed our complaint. It's strictly on natural-born citizenship. I know all the criminal activities of the resident in the White House, but unfortunately, the secretaries of state say, well, the fact that he's a criminal, that's not our problem. We're just concerned if he meets the eligibility requirements. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's what you hear out of the secretaries of state's office. They send you to the attorney general on the criminal issues, and the attorney general has no interest in proceeding. So we're filing strictly on a natural-born citizen.
Well, let me ask you this, Commander.
I don't care if he was born in the Lincoln bedroom. He's not a natural-born citizen because his father was a foreign national, not even an immigrant to this country. The first president, or putative president, I'll call him, ever to have a father who did not immigrate to this country. Can you think about that? I mean, since the founding generation, who had an exception clause for that. The first president that we've ever had whose father never came to this country as an immigrant, never became a citizen. This guy is a pure foreign, the father is a pure foreign national, And it's an outrageous disgrace that he was allowed to get into that Oval Office.
Well, you're absolutely right. But backing up, and that's eloquent the way you placed that, Commander, and passionate. But backing up for just a second, Secretary of State said they're not interested in a person being a criminal. That's not their jurisdiction. And it very well may not be. But wouldn't it be their responsibility if they felt that there were criminal activities to report that to the police? As state officials, aren't they required to report crimes to the police? And the answer to that
you would think so, but you see what happened up in New Hampshire?
Absolutely.
They just totally ignored that. The Deputy Secretary of State was sitting right there in the hearing, and they didn't even want to hear it.
Yeah, I know. So obviously they're part of conspiracy, or at the very least they don't want to touch it. But now, how are you framing out your court date on the 1st of March, which happens next week? Are you doing as Mickey Booth has done in Oklahoma? Are you demonstrating you're being injured by having...
No. We have immediate standing under Pennsylvania law.
Oh, you have immediate standing.
Right. Standing cannot be used to keep us out of court.
Oh, very
We're going to have to, in our pleading, he has the burden of proof he's eligible. We cite that, and Pennsylvania law says he has the burden of proof. We're going to see how they're going to tap dance out of that. I mean, it could be just another Georgia Reverend Manning. I mean, he could just not show up and give Pennsylvania citizens and electorate the finger like he did down in Georgia. I mean, rhetorically the finger. I'm talking Navy talk that a little bit there, so excuse me.
No,
but
okay.
he may not show up, and he may win again in Pennsylvania like he did in Georgia, which is ridiculous. The rule of law in this country is being just totally trampled on.
Well, he very well may choose to do that, and I suspect that he's got a track record at that, and he probably will choose. However, the matter will become of a court issue.
Absolutely.
And another judge will have to make the decision to shred the Constitution and to deny the American people its great heritage if he rules in favor of Obama, as Mali did in Georgia. So, you proceed
and
with
we will be able to get evidence on the record in this case.
Absolutely.
Just like in Georgia. And,
absolutely.
It's going to wind up at the Supreme Court sooner or later.
At some point,
they duck
it will.
it again, and they have illegally voting like Kagan and Sotomayor did, unethically voting. But if this country goes down, Reverend Manning, 20 years from now, the historians can never say they weren't told of the problem. I mean, the Constitution is in great trouble. This country is in great danger, and the rule of law is gone. I mean, totally gone. I hope we still have it in Pennsylvania. I'm the kind of person, sir, that I'm going to take a crack at this, swing at this bat, whether or not I win or lose. I could not look myself in the mirror without trying.
Commander Kerchner, you made mention of the fact you served this nation as a commissioned officer in the Navy for 33 years. And we salute you for that, and we thank you for your service. And you also made an observation of the fact there's never been a president, there's never been a chief executive officer, the person we put the most trust and honor in, our presidents. There's no other person that we put as much trust and honor and belief in other than the Lord Jesus Christ than we do our president. Yet there has never in the history of this nation been one who has been elected to that office blatantly, where it is unequivocally clear that his father was not a citizen of this nation, and therefore he is not a citizen of this nation. And yet,
not even an immigrant, sir. Not even an immigrant. Every other. I mean, Obama's. We're a nation of immigrants, Pastor, but Obama's father is not one.
No, he's not. No,
they stood. That reverend from California stood there and at the inauguration speech and said, "This is a blessing to be here and see the son of an immigrant from Africa be elected the president and sworn in." He's not the son of an immigrant. His father was a foreign national. That has never happened before in the history of this country. He didn't want to be a citizen. He hated America. He went back to Kenya. Well, he was deported. He lost his visa. He went back to Kenya, and the Kenyan government pulled his passport over there for troublemaking over there, and he never came back. He had no interest in the United States. And now his son, born a British subject via that foreign national, born with dual citizenship, at best, he may even be an illegal alien, depending on the actual facts when we get him. But they born a dual citizen, There's no way the president, as commander of our military, the founders would be rolling over in their grave. They wanted somebody with sole allegiance at birth. They didn't want a dual citizen at birth as the president. They didn't want a president who had a foreign national father with mixed loyalties coming from that type of status. The military people like me, we want to know our leader is that we can fully trust him.
Oh, absolutely.
And nobody can trust this guy. He has allegiance to what? Now, let's see. United States by his mother, England and Kenya by his father, Indonesia by his stepfather, and God knows what else, Pastor.
Commander Kerchner, we only have a moment left, and I'm sorry we have such short time, but our program log has gotten kind of tight. Hold the music for just 1 second, because I want to ask you a question. On the 1st of March, that will be next Wednesday, I believe. You're
10
going to
a.m. in Harrisburg.
In Harrisburg.
Commonwealth Courthouse.
Is it possible that we
We're
could
try to live stream it. We're going to try to live stream it.
Very well. And then I want to put in my bid to have an interview with you as soon as the court proceedings are over with on Wednesday. I
invite you to attend.
Yeah, I would like to come out to Harrisburg, and I very well may shoot out there. It's a pretty good distance from New York, but I very well may shoot out there, Commander, because this is just that critical, and I'll be able to cover it from that point of view. But the fact you're going to stream it is a good thing. But at least let me get a commitment for you to be interviewed if I'm not able to get out there. And certainly all my prayers go with you in this great effort. But we must talk again as soon as we possibly can.
Did you get a copy of the pleading, sir? I believe I sent you a copy.
I don't know if I have. That was a question I wanted to ask, but we don't have enough time to go over the pleadings. But maybe we can get you back a bit before Wednesday.
Sure thing. Whenever just give me an email or a call or whatever.
Commander, thank you so very much for being on the Manning Report today.
Thank you for having me on.
God bless you. All right, everybody. That was Commander Kerchner, 33-year veteran commissioner of the Navy and a patriot. We ought to ask Commander Kerchner to run for president. Why doesn't he do that? Why don't we, put him up and get behind him?
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.